What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Motor Nobs YouTube channel. And just because I need another iron in the fire, not really, but I was almost gifted this. My wife's grandfather was like, hey, he called me up. It was like late at night. He's like, hey, you want a Grand Marquis, Mercury Grand Marquis? And I'm like, sure, I guess. What you want for it? And he was just like, you know what? A little bit of gas money and you help me get it off the trailer and it's yours. I'm like, what's the deal with it? And he's like, I don't know. He picked it up and for a buddy of his and they just wanted it gone. So I got it back here. And before I was like gonna do anything with it, I was checking over it. And let me show you where we're at so far. So this bad boy is a 1995 Mercury Grand Marquis. At least that's what the title says. It's weird though, because up underneath the hood, it's got a 4.62 valve, and from what I thought, I thought the Panther chassis cars, the Mercury Grand Marquis, the Crown Vics, I thought they still had the 5.0, the old 5.0 302 and 95, but I guess they didn't. I didn't know they had the 4.6. This is the earlier version 4.6, so it's got the coil pack here, they're not coil on plug, and then it's got wires going to each. Kind of a funky setup. First thing I did is put a battery in it and we fired it up, and the car actually runs. It does have a misfire and the exhaust was dragging, so I pulled it in here and I cut at the bottom of the cat. So it's got 4 cats and 2 go down and then come out, and then it goes into the other 2. I chopped it in between each of those 2. So now I just have 2 cats and then pipes facing that way, so that way I can just add on from there back. I guess let me go ahead and start it up for you. It's a little loud and it still is misfiring. The interior is dirty. The body is less than stellar. Let me see if I can I gotta move it backwards so I can get in the car. Yeah, the body is not the greatest. It's not the worst. I've seen worse for sure. There's a little bit of rust up underneath it, but can't beat it for gas money. Let's see here. Will it start? Oh yeah, heck yeah. Oh yeah, and it's got a boat ton of miles. Oil pressure comes up. I ran it for a while. Temperature comes up. It doesn't overheat. It's got an airbag light on. And no check engine and nothing like that. So, and it even came with like a half a tank of gas. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And I'm like blown away because I'm like, what else is wrong with it? The fuel gas lid doesn't open. Looks like they've been prying it open with like a screwdriver. There is a spare tire. There's actually 2 spare tires in there, a full size and like a little donut. And yeah, the worst part on the car is she's got some rot right here. Up underneath there, it's not as bad in some spots. There's some halfway decent spots. And at first I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this car. I'm just going to get rid of it. And then I got to thinking. I have a set of like little mud tires on one of my Jeeps. And I've always wanted to lift a Panther chassis car. I always said I'd get a Crown Vic, but never got around to buying one. So I'm going to put a lift kit on this. I was looking at a 4-inch spacer lift with a set of new shocks, and then bolt up my Jeep wheels and tires on it. So these are 5 lug 5 by 4.5, and the Jeep wheels and tires I have are 5 by 4.5. So the steel wheels will be able to bolt right up to it. I don't know if it'll clear with just 4 inches of lift because they are 30-inch tires, but We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It's almost meant to be on there. So now what I was going to do is I was going to pull the plugs out of it, see what they look like, probably get a new set of plugs. And you're now caught up to where I am. Looks like is it the coolant? Because there's nothing in there. Coolant seems to be empty. Oh, there's a little bit down in there, I think. Okay, so I need some coolant. Surprisingly, this thing doesn't overheat though. But I also thought this is kind of weird how the throttle body's like this, whereas I'm used to like 4.6s where the throttle body's either facing that way or facing that way. Straight on, a little bit different setup. But yeah, so that's pretty much the plan with this car. I'm not gonna sink a bunch of money into it. I'm buying the lift kit for it, which was $200, and that includes the shocks. I don't have to buy wheels and tires. I'm gonna put like spark plugs in it and maybe do a little tune up on it. I don't know if it needs coil packs. I don't really know what else it needs. For the time being, I'm probably not even gonna put an exhaust on it. I'd like to put something on it exhaust wise because I don't want to die of fumes. Oh, and then I also wanted to see if the AC would work. So turn it on now and the compressor doesn't kick on, doesn't do anything. So I was gonna try to just pump a little bit of Freon in it. And I think, yeah, these are R134A. So we're good to go. All right, let's pull some plugs out. All right, so I went ahead and pulled all the plugs out. I just stuck the wires back in there so nothing would fall in there because I don't have any plugs tonight. I gotta grab some tomorrow. There was lots of gunk buildup. This bank was pretty clean, but this side was super dirty. Look on top of the plug. Like there was just like a pool of almost like rusty water sitting on top of the plug. So that leads me to believe that those wires are probably kind of rusty on the terminals on the inside. But as for the actual like electrode, I mean, these bad boys are definitely used. You can see where, if my camera will focus, they're grooved where they've been sparking. So yeah, they need to be changed. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a set of plugs. And while I'm there, I'll price out and probably grab a set of wires. I don't think I need coils yet. I'm gonna hold off on replacing the coil packs and just see how it does with a fresh set of like plugs and wires, because like this plug is super nasty. So I don't even know if it was getting like good contact with all that gunk. And this one had like oil on top of it, but it was like watery oil. So I was trying to figure out like how and why, because I've run this car for a little bit and I don't see anything that's wet. Oh, there we are. Wet up there and around there. But I don't know if this sat outside with the hood open for a while, because he said this car was sitting for a little bit. So I don't know if it got rained on or what. But it's just peculiar that, or maybe it had a coolant leak at one time. I don't know. It's weird how this side, all the spark plugs on top of the threads, so top side where the spark plug wire goes on, were all dirty, but this side was clean. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're signing off for tonight. I'm gonna grab me a thing of Freon, so that way when we put our plugs and wires in tomorrow, we can just see if maybe all she needs is a little bit of Freon. And I doubt it. It probably needs more. Then the lift kit will be coming in the next couple days. So hopefully we'll have some good content out of this, because once we get this set up, I just kind of want to go ball through the woods. I am going to throw tags on it so that way I can drive it through town. But as for like cosmetics, I don't know if I'm going to do anything other than, for some reason I want to like paint it with bed liner, but I know that's like horrible because it's just going to make this thing a million degrees in the summertime. But yeah, with that being said, y'all have a good night. Peace. I'll see you on the next one. Adios. All right, so I put those new plugs in. Forgot to record that. Went and fired it up and went to go drive around after I have chopped off the back cat. So it still has the front cats, doesn't have the back cats, and doesn't have any exhaust. I left the two O2 sensors hanging. One of them was broken. The other one was just hanging. I was just to drive it around. And it kept cutting off. Like it would like run perfectly fine for like, I don't know, 15 to 30 seconds, and then boom, cut off. No check engine light. It is a 95, so that's lovely. And I did some just quick Google searching, and some people are like, oh, you got to unplug your back O2 sensors, or you at least have to have them in some pipe so it sees some airflow from the engine, because it controls the fueling. I thought maybe it would default to some kind of tune. I don't know. But anyway, I just unplugged the cats now. Boom. And let's fire it up and see if it stays running. Like literally, it would just knock off. It just let it sit there and idle, and it would just. So let's see if it'll start up now. We'll see how long it'll actually. There it goes. It just cuts off with no check engine light. So does that mean it does have to have the back O2 sensors to be able to run? I mean, I'll put them back in there. And it just cuts off, just like that. Which is interesting. Well, it's not going to be fun getting it down the road. My buddy's got a shop, and he does some welding work. The only issue is the car won't currently drive up in its current situation. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Get that door closed. So I might need to buckle down and do it here. Yeah. I guess so. I need some links, some straight links of pipes to come off those bottom cats, and then some O2 bungs. Blah. So the Mercury is currently sitting. By the way, I did figure out what's going on with it. It does have I think to be bad cylinder, probably through the rings. One of the cylinders that had oil on the plugs. I put those new plugs in. I run it. I'm like, it doesn't sound any better. I pull the plugs back out, and one of the plugs has got oil on it. So, and when I first started up, it smokes a little bit. It actually isn't smoking right now, but it only smokes like on first startup. So it might smoke once it gets warm. But I'm gonna drop all the oil on it. Put in like 15 W40 or maybe even 20 W50, something super, super thick. If you guys have any recommendations, I saw online they have like some like anti or no smoke stuff. Have no idea if that helps, but probably, since it's just gonna be a little beat around car, definitely just gonna probably top the oil off and run it. But yeah, and as long as I can get it to where it doesn't keep turning off, the next step will be putting the lift kit on. So one thing at a time. So next video will be getting this bad boy, those pipes on there, and hopefully letting her run more than 15 seconds at a time. Sneak peek of another project. If you'll notice, this is the 2003 E500 that I featured on my channel a long time ago, years ago. It was actually a video of mine that did really good when I went and chopped, I believe I chopped the muffler off this. Yeah. So if we go up underneath here, this car originally came with a muffler right here and a muffler right here. We chopped it off at a muffler shop and just got it, straight piped. It's technically not straight piped because it still has the cats and it has this big resonator right here, but the car sounds pretty good. In the time that has elapsed, I sold this car to a friend of mine. He drove it for a little while, transmission messed up, and then he kind of let it sit. Since it's been sitting, something happened to the airbags, because the airbags sits on the ground. The compressor kicks on, but they don't air up. So gonna need to take a look at that. It's also got a little misfire, and it's got a check engine light for a mass airflow sensor. So gonna need to take a look at that. And the major thing is it's stuck in limp mode. The transmission is stuck in second gear. So that's not good. Putting it up on the lift, I think we're gonna go ahead and try to pull the transmission out of this bad boy tomorrow. So wish us luck on that. These transmissions are surprisingly cheap for used variants. But yeah, sneak peek of the next thing. By the way, we do have some pistons on the way for the Integra, so she's getting love too. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about her. All right, see y'all in the next one. Adios.